just had in Las Vegas a couple of hours ago, like 12:35. Let's go ahead and check it out, guys, and come back with my reaction.
For over 2.5 decades. And ultimately, our persistence in this investigation has paid off. Let me walk you through a timeline of events that as we know them right now. Prior to September 7th of 1996, as we all know, Tupac Shakur was an artist who was signed with Death Row Records. And the Death Row Records were closely affiliated with the Mob Piru criminal street gangs, and that they had an ongoing feud with the Southside Compton Crips. Dwayne Davis was the leader and shot caller of the Southside Compton Crips. And both of these gangs operated out of the Southern California area of Compton.
I didn't know he was
On the
leader.
night of September 7th of 1996, Tupac Shakur, along with Suge Knight, and members of their entourage, which include members of Mob Piru, came to Vegas to attend the Mike Tyson fight at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Members of the Southside Compton Crips, which included Dwayne Davis, along with his nephew Orlando Anderson, were also in attendance at the same event. As both were leaving the fight, members of Death Row Records spotted Orlando Anderson near an elevator bank inside the MGM, and at that time they began to kick and punch him near that elevator bank.
Wow.
I will now show you hotel security footage, as many of you have already seen, related to this incident. And on this incident, you will see Tupac Shakur, who's wearing a shiny satiny shirt, along with Marion Suge Knight, who's a large man,
27-year-old
punching and kicking Orlando Anderson.
That's crazy.
Following this incident, you'll see hotel security intervene, and then they will leave the area of the fight.
Okay, so you've got a file.
Anyone know that it is?
Okay,
This incident right here that would ultimately lead to the retaliatory shooting and death of Tupac Shakur. Following this incident, Tupac and Suge Knight both left the MGM to make their way to a post-fight party.
One of the most famous photos in hip-hop history.
At the same time, word had spread amongst members of the Southside Compton Crips of what had occurred inside the MGM. And then that's when Dwayne Davis began to devise a plan to obtain a firearm and retaliate against Suge Knight and Mr. Shakur for what occurred inside the hotel against Mr. Anderson. After Davis obtained a gun, he entered into a white Cadillac along with Terrence Brown, DeAndre Smith, and Orlando Anderson. Based on our investigation, this is where we know they were seated. At some point in time, as they were in the white Cadillac, Mr. Davis took the gun that he had obtained and provided it to the passengers in the rear seat of the vehicle. As they were both, as they were driving west on Flamingo Road near Koval, they located the black BMW, which was driven by Suge Knight, and in the passenger seat was Tupac Shakur. And as they turned around, they pulled up near the passenger side of that vehicle and immediately began shooting at Mr. Knight and Mr. Shakur. Following that shooting, the white Cadillac fled the area southbound on Koval, and after our officers arrived on scene, Tupac was later transported to the University Medical Center, where he was treated medically and died approximately 6 days later on September 13th. My homicide section handled this investigation from its onset and for a short amount of time. And within a short amount of time, what we knew was that we were working a gang investigation where our victims, our witnesses, and our suspects were all from Southern California and not local to Las Vegas. Within the first few months of the investigation, our detectives Detectives knew most of the information I just briefed you on. However, we never had the necessary evidence to bring this case forward and present it for criminal charges. As time went on, this case had been reviewed multiple times by different investigators assigned to my section, but it wasn't until 2018 that this case was reinvigorated as additional information came to light related to this homicide. Specifically, Dwayne Davis's own admissions to his involvement in this homicide investigation that he provided to numerous different media outlets. In our section, we knew at this time that this was likely our last time to take a run at this case to successfully solve this case and bring forth a criminal charge. It was at that time that this case was assigned to Cliff Mogg, a detective within my homicide section.
Cliff Mogg.
And over the last 5 years, my section worked closely, hand in hand with the Clark County District Attorney's Office, and followed a systematic investigative plan over the last 5 years.
That thumbs up button, guys. That thumbs up button. Appreciate you guys watching. This is crazy, man. I want him to get, so, yeah, what happened?
We've conducted countless interviews and corroborated numerous facts that were not only consistent with the crime scene on the night of the incident, but also corroborated and were consistent with the sequence of events that night. This ultimately led to us procuring a search warrant which was executed at Mr. Davis's residence in Henderson, Nevada. And following the execution of that search warrant, in close coordination with the District Attorney's Office, this case was presented to the grand jury, which ultimately led to Davis being indicted on charges of murder.
An arrest and indictment in the murder of legendary rapper.
That's crazy, man.
Tupac Shakur. Really, investigators, they're going into stunning
no,
detail.
Stop, damn it. Stupid ass thing. Anyway, what y'all think, man? Man. And the cool part about it, that's sad. It's sad to go to prison for any length of time, but when you get older, being in prison and you pushing up on your elderly age, because I'm thinking Keefe, he got to be pushing. He got to be in his mid 50s or late 50s, right? I'm thinking. So to be that old and have to go to prison, it's kind of sad. You know what I mean? That he's going to have to go to prison in his later years in life versus if he would have got caught when he was earlier. If he would have got caught earlier, he probably would be getting out now. You see what I'm saying? In his later years. Man, I don't know. He should have kept his damn mouth shut, man. You know, he wrote a book and the whole Why would you write a book? And the cool part about it, the book, he even got an audio book that you can get on Audible, where he's pretty much telling you exactly what happened that night. You know, so I know they had granted him king for a day, but that was just what it was. It was king for a day, where he was able to talk about the Tupac murder and confess without any repercussions of going to prison. You know, that's when he was able to say that Orlando Anderson was the one, his nephew, pulled the trigger. He kept talking about it and even put it in the book. That was dumb. I'm thinking that's what took him out the game. What y'all think? Leave your comments, subscribe to Charles and Israel. Appreciate it.
Looking for a professional photographer for your next big event? Need video of your special day? Then look no further. For $100 an hour, have a professional photographer or videographer shoot your wedding, birthday party, quinceañera, bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah, anniversary party, or whatever your special occasion may be. Highlight your event with professional, crisp photos and video. Check out Charles Arness Photography on Instagram, as well as book us for your next event. Must live in the Southern California area.